Hi, I'm Larry Allen, the founder of the Natural Health Clinic, and thank you for tuning in today. And we're going to be discussing if melatonin is the answer to a good night's sleep, along with 12 specific ways that you can improve your sleep right after this. So please stay tuned. Well, judging by the amounts of prescription sleep aids that are prescribed every year in the United States, sleep is quite an issue for many Americans. And with all the things that are going on right now, with pandemics and whatever else is happening, certainly those kinds of stresses do not go to aid with sleep. So a lot of times people do go to some kind of medication or even to a more natural over-the-counter type of substance in order to help themselves with sleep. Well, as far as medications, if you're in a specific period of time, maybe there's some kind of tremendous stress, a situational stress that's going on, and you just really can't sleep, you have severe insomnia, then for a period of time, using medications may be the thing to do. But please realize that using medications and even using over-the-counter or different kinds of supplements oftentimes doesn't get to the root causative factors that are creating a problem with your sleep. So what are some of the things that you can do in order to help your sleep? Well, I already alluded to it in the beginning of this video. Melatonin is actually an extremely important hormone that your body produces to help with your sleep, to regenerate your body, to help with replication of DNA. There's many, many things that this particular hormone does. And what we want to do is help your body to naturally produce it. And the sufficient supply and natural production of melatonin is what helps you to get a good night's sleep. So the things that I'm going to outline here today are to do just that. So the first one, and probably the most important one, is that the room that you sleep in is 100% dark. So, make sure that there is no light coming in from the windows, if you have any windows in your room. If you don't, then that makes it a lot easier. But otherwise, just blinds, for example, are not sufficient. You need to have heavy blackout curtains, some way to totally black out the light that it may be coming in to the room. In addition to that, any electronics such as maybe clocks, electronic clocks, or even lights, standby lights from different electronics like televisions or computers or whatever the case may be, night lights even, your room needs to be 100% dark. So even if you wake up at night and you have to go to the bathroom, relieve yourself, don't turn on the light, don't use a light from your cell phone, don't use a night light, because even that small amount of light, at that point, your body stops producing melatonin. That's how important a very dark room is. Now this goes into the second thing, and the second thing is that in order to properly produce melatonin, you don't only have to have an extremely dark room at night. And by the way, how do you know if your room is dark enough? If you can hold your hand up to your eyes and you cannot see your fingers, that's dark enough. And until you get to that point, you need to keep working at it, okay? All right, so the other thing that you have to have is extreme bright light in the daytime. So if you always go outside in sunglasses or some kind of sunglasses or maybe prescription glasses that darken in the sunlight, you are not getting enough bright light to actually produce melatonin at night. So you have to have the two. Now, the next thing that is very, very important is actually exercise. Now, it's probably better not to exercise before bed, but exercise overall can go a long way to help your body produce the hormones that you need in order to sleep soundly at night. Excuse me. Now the next thing is very important, and it may cause a fight within your home if you're a couple, and that is that for sleep, it's important not to have your room temperature, so the room that you're sleeping in, above 70 degrees. Even a 1-degree difference has been shown in studies to create lighter sleep. So temperature is extremely important in the room as well. Now, another thing that Marilyn Monroe made famous was something that can help, and it has to do with temperature, is actually to sleep in the nude or to sleep naked. And again, that is to help regulate body temperature. In plain words, the body is cooler. So do consider that as well. And then the next thing is that you need to eliminate electromagnetic fields or frequencies within your room as much as possible. So that means turn any mobile devices, cell phones, iPads, tablets, whatever, even laptops into, turn the notification mode off, put them in airplane mode, or don't even have them in your room. That's really the best. It's also good to put your Wi-Fi on, the Wi-Fi server on a timer so that it turns off, like at 1 o'clock in the morning and then turns back on at whatever time you may wake up, 5 or 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. And you can't get rid of all the electromagnetic frequencies even doing these things, but you can certainly lessen it, and that will only go to help your body as well. So the other thing to do is to avoid eating or drinking, including alcohol, at least 3 hours before bed. In fact, if you tend to drink, like a glass of wine before bed, that can actually harm your sleep because doing so, oftentimes it will force your body to wake up between 2 and 3 in the morning. And if you're experiencing that and you drink wine, try drinking it earlier in the evening, like maybe 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening, no later than 7 if you go to bed at 10. And that in itself can help you very, very much. Now, the next thing to do is to make sure that you fix any type of adrenal, any type of thyroid, any type of hormonal imbalances that you may have, because those things can very much disrupt your sleep, even though you've done all the other things that I've just mentioned. Okay? And then finally, turn off the TV. Don't listen to things that are stressful to you before you go to bed. Listen to or read things that are uplifting, that are relaxing. Develop a nighttime routine that is designed to help you relax. And get into this routine, because then your body, just doing this routine, will begin to help you wind down so that you can have a proper night's of sleep. Now, an interesting kind of side tip, now it's not as necessary because people have all these Fitbits and different apps and things that they can use in their phone. But again, if you're following my instructions, you're not going to have your phone or even your Fitbit on. That is really not good, and it can disrupt your sleep. So one thing you want to know is if you're sleep deprived, right? And an easy way of doing that is you can take a nap or try to take a nap in a very dark room in the early afternoon after you've had lunch. And what you want is a metal tray and a spoon. And so what happens, you hold that spoon, and then when you're woken up by the spoon clattering on the metal tray, record the time that you laid down in bed and you were woken up by the spoon clattering on the metal tray. And you can see if you're sleep deprived or not. So if you went to sleep within 5 minutes, that's exceptionally sleep deprived, and you really need to work towards getting better quality sleep. If it's 10 minutes, you still have some sleep deprivation, and if it's 15 minutes or longer, so not stretching into an hour or something, but if it's 15, 20 minutes, then you're probably getting a fairly good night's sleep. But if it's anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes, you have some definite problems. So that's just kind of a fun thing to try to see where you're at as far as your sleep quality and the amount of sleep that you're getting every night. Okay, so let me just take a brief look and see if there are any questions. And so I would really appreciate, Facebook is limiting the reach of a lot of these videos in all kinds of different natural health platforms. Many of the social platforms are actually just completely banning alternative health sites totally, where even if you search the name of the site, they used to be there, and then the links don't even come up that they have, even though they've been there for 10, 15 years, had millions of followers, whatever the case. So it's becoming more and more difficult for us to get information that is helpful, natural health information, out to everyone. So I really ask that you help us to do that. And there's simple ways to do that. You can just like our video, but especially if you feel inclined to share it to your friends, to your family, to anyone that you think would be helped by this information, that would go a long, long way towards getting this information out to those who may find it very helpful. So I really appreciate if you share this video. So let me take a look here. And, oh, thanks very much. There's already 3 shares. That's fantastic. I don't see any questions. If you're watching this later on and you do have any questions about your sleep or about whatever the case may be, go ahead and put them down there in the comments section, and I will get to them as I'm notified. So I hope you find this very helpful. Again, if you like it, if you share it, that's extremely helpful to us to reach out and to give this information to people that might really be helped by it. So thank you very much for tuning in. And my name is Labron Allen, and the founder of the Natural Health Clinic. You have a great afternoon.